Can I ask real quick though? Did you have a spike for Brian for the Czech Republic?
Slovak-
Because that is so funny. Like every time you talk
Slovakia or
about
whatever
or
it was. Yeah.
Czechoslovakia, like
Yeah.
So
it is
funny.
so funny,
It is
right?
Czech
Yeah.
Republic.
Yeah.
Czech Republic spiked and Denmark. Denmark, what is it with
What?
Brian?
That
I
is
don't
so
know.
funny.
I know, it's so
Oh, so
funny.
funny.
He's such a good sport.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Hallmark Movie Drafts, the monthly podcast where guest panelists are all Hallmark movie enthusiasts who come together to debate, rank, and ultimately draft definitive top 10 lists of Hallmark movies. It's February, or in Hallmark's world, Loveuary, and the drafting topic this month is Best Kiss Hallmark Movies. So pucker up and buckle up because things are about to get messy. I'm Lynn Austin, your host, and with me today as my co-host is Erinbeth Cermak.
Oh my gosh, Lynn. I'm so excited about that message you sent me right before we started. That Bissingers is again letting our listeners have that 15% off. I am telling you what, the Hallmark Cupid truffles, and they have these cute little heart truffles. It's going to be I'm going to have so much chocolate and
Okay,
Pandas.
okay, Erinbeth, you're literally just now back on the show. Do I have to lay you off again? Right out of the gate, you start with the HMD code and Bissingers.
I get so excited about chocolate and pandas. Like how could you really just not get excited about that? It's a fantastic way to bring in Valentine month. Everyone should just go on Bissingers, get themselves some chocolate, use HMD when they check out, get their 15% off, and just really enjoy the chocolate month, right? Because that's what February is.
It is. It's Loveuary.
Yeah.
So chocolate, Hallmark movies, it's a perfect
Mhm.
pairing. And speaking of perfect pairing, what's better than a perfect pair of lips and some delicious best kisses? I mean, we did the best Valentine movies last year for 2025 in February.
If you missed last February's Valentine theme draft, you need to check it out. It's a great top 10 list, super fun panel. And as for today's draft, best kiss, everyone's criteria is going to be a little bit different. I know mine even changed while I was watching movies. Is it the length of the kiss? Did he have his hands on her hair, touch her face while kissing? You know, there are some Hallmark movies that come in mind quickly with hot kisses that I have definitely rewound and watched again and again, and they may happen in the rain. I'm just saying.
Oh, for sure. And just so you know, listeners, my husband just walked by me as he's hearing Erinbeth say all of this, and he's making guppy kiss faces at me, which I absolutely hate. You know, there are lovely kisses. Sometimes I think, did I just see a kiss with tongue, Hallmark? I don't mind that. But a no chemistry kiss or a guppy kiss, that's a total hard pass for me. I know you have thoughts on some of these movies, Erinbeth, as we go through the match, and that you've put together this great trivia round for the players. You're keeping score. I call you with great love the score creeper. So you're doing a lot. So just, relax and sit back while I introduce this month's panelists, and then we'll get started. Okay? Perfect.
Sounds good.
Before I introduce this month's panelists, I'm going to jump ahead for a sec to talk about the list of eligible movies and how that came about. You know, every draft starts with a list of eligible movies that's been created and vetted by the HMD team. Usually it's Kate Baca, so it's deeply researched, it's double checked, it's vetted, and then it's given to the panelists to watch the movies. Usually a year in advance, even though they wait until the very last minute to watch them. But, that's no shade. It's just what happens. For this particular draft, the topic was so subjective that it really was up to the panelists to decide what movies do you think, have the best kiss in them. And that discussion started a year ago. And from that, they sent me, I think it was back in the summer, I sort of lost track a little bit. They sent me what they thought their top 10 to 12 would be on their list. I put together a blind master using those titles. They don't know who sent me what. They didn't know what titles were sent to me. I threw in some red herrings, and ultimately, the list came to about 40 movies. There was some other behind the scenes work that was done by the panelists as well. And the first panelist that I introduce right now is going to explain a little more about the rigor and the integrity and the vetting that went into this list. She's worked with the panel really closely, which doesn't mean she's not here to win, folks. She's here to win, but she was very cooperative behind the scenes leading up to this. She's also my co-host for the 2025 Hallmark Movie Drafts Tournament of Champions series, which is taking place in January and February as well. She's been doing a lot of behind the scenes work with me on that tourney. We've truly been joined at the hip since January 1st, and I swear to God, Jackie, you and I could win a three-legged race at this point because we have been tethered together for the last couple of weeks. So hi, Jackie. It's so great to have you on.
Hi, Lynn. Good to be here. Good to see you again for what, the third, fourth time this week? I'm not really even sure.
Yeah.
But it's funny that you talk about the list because when started working on the list, always go to the computer. Always go like Google, say, give me the top 10, top 50, whatever, kissing Hallmark movies. And I will tell you that AI really stinks in many situations because there were Lifetime movies that came back in that list. There were Up TV movies, so then went out to YouTube because you always can get some good clips out there. And then, of course, shout out to Erin Shea from her time with Deck the Hallmark because she provided the list of the nominations for the Decky's Best Kiss category. And so we pulled in lists from everywhere. Also the Double Decker Facebook feed chat. That's how we got that 70 number list started.
Yes, exactly. The Decky Awards, which is the awards that the Deck the Hallmark podcast gives out every single year, has a Best Kiss category. So shout out Erin Shea, who was producing shows at that time. It was just really helpful to get a list and some good feedback there. I'm curious, Jackie, to see what you guys do today, how this list comes together. Are you guys going to be choosing movies where the kiss is sensational, but the movie's maybe a little, or is it, this is the movie I want to watch again and the kiss is there? Because there's a kiss in every single movie, whether it comes in the middle or at the end. Not to give away any gameplay, but how did you put your list together for this draft?
Well, I started with the philosophy was the kiss earned? Was it unexpected and unexpected in a pleasant way? Was it a kiss that I could get into? I tried to stay away from the movies that I loved. Like you said earlier, sometimes your logic changed in the middle of how you were watching them. So yeah, I was all over the map. A lot of kisses I remembered as being good, maybe weren't as good the second time around.
Well, good luck today and good luck in the trivia round. Your last draft was the Cedar Cove lead cast draft. You don't have any leftover vetoes from that, so you're not coming in with any extra veto power. The trivia round could be really important to your game success here. So good luck,
Yes,
Jackie.
yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
it's like vetoes or number of picks, which is more important right now if I do well in the trivia round.
Exactly. Okay, next up is Dr. Stephanie Preschel, another HMD production team member who puts together the movie descriptions for every single draft. I would truly be lost without her. I would just want to jab a pen in my eyeball if I had to do that. I don't know how she does it. Steph and I just did 2 December bonus drafts together. We did the top 10 Lifetime Channel Christmas movies of 2025, and she joined me for the Christmas at Bissinger's Chocolates Truffle Draft with Bissinger's CEO and Chief Chocolatier Dan Abel Jr. But you wanted to be on this draft, so do you have kissing criteria that you looked at?
Yeah, so I thought I did. And then I started watching the movies and it really was okay, it's just going to be about the kiss. And then it was like, well, I don't actually like this movie, so do I want to include this kiss? And it just kind of went back and forth, similar to Jackie. There were some going in that I assumed would be in my top 10, and then when I rewatched, I was like, oh, that's it? That did not really do it for me. I would say my big thing was as long as it gave me like tingles and stuff, then that was at least more likely to end up in my top half or whatever. So,
Well, good luck. It's so subjective. I've seen your lists, and that's all I'm going to say about that.
yeah, I anticipate it'll be pretty chaotic in a very fun and exciting way.
You're coming into this draft, actually, you're the only one coming into this draft with some extra veto powers. You're coming in with veto that's left over. And you have not one, but two veto overrides as well. You're going to have to decide which veto type you're going to drop once you have your drafting position, because you can only have four during a match collectively.
That is not a tough decision whatsoever. Do not worry. Veto override being dropped immediately.
You can't get rid of those things,
I can't. I can't. I've been carrying one of them over, I think, for like 2 years.
You have. You
Yeah.
have. There's
Yeah.
no prize. So you don't get an
No.
award for that. But all
No.
right. Okay. Well, good luck. We will start the trivia round in just a sec. But first, I am finally going to introduce our third panelist. She's someone who wasn't scheduled to draft until 2027, but one of today's original panelists had to drop out a couple of months ago. I thought, who would be a good fit to draft against Jackie and Steph? And I thought immediately of her. It's her first appearance on HMD, but that doesn't mean she isn't going to crush Jackie and Steph's dreams, drafting dreams, that is, not their real dreams, because she's really nice, okay? But let's see what happens, because Laura Schinner was a first-time drafter the other month, and she beat out two very experienced panelists and went on to win that match. Welcome to Hallmark Movie Drafts, Erin Johnson. We are so excited to have you.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here. I can't wait.
So I can't play favorites, but from what I know of you and based on some of our chats these past couple of months, I'm confident that you can hold your own here and that you will not be lulled into a false sense of sisterhood just because Jackie and Stephanie aren't making their gameplay maneuvers obvious. If Stephanie says, your friendship is important to me at any point during this draft, which she is known to do, that's just Stephanie speak for I'm going to smile and speak in a soothing voice when I veto your pick. She's not buying you dinner after this, Erin.
Got it.
Okay, great. So since it's your first time drafting, you have no extra veto power coming into the match. So give that trivia round your best shot, okay? Good luck.
Okay, will do.
Oh, Erin, one other thing. In the Rachel Boston draft, I described the panel as two kittens and a bobcat. They were all experienced drafters. I don't view this panel that way. I don't see any kittens here. I don't see any obvious bobcat energy. But if you happen to hear the theme to Shaw's playing in your head at any point in time during the match, when Stephanie and Jackie are speaking, you're probably not wrong. They're smooth sharks that way. That's my official welcome to Hallmark Movie Drafts. Consider yourself fully prepared.
I feel very welcomed. Thank you.
Erinbeth, take it away.
Right. We're going to go over the trivia round rules. Number one, don't answer until the full question is asked. Two, raise your Zoom hand to answer and I will call on you. Three, if you answer incorrectly, you are out until the others guess. And four, no hints. If no one knows, we just move on. Are there any questions? All right, great. Get your Zoom hands ready. We are going to start. Is he a frog? Is he a prince? Kelly Martin and Simon Cassian Needies find out in Smooch when Kelly's daughter finds Simon under the bridge. How does she get him home? Erin, first up.
In a wagon?
No, that is incorrect. Okay. Stephanie or Jackie, do you want to give it a try? Jackie.
In a shopping cart.
Jackie, you are correct. You can get to pick your drafting position first. So sit back, relax a little bit, and we will see who's going to pick second. Right. Next question. Tyler Hynes and Rihanna Fish find love because of one special photo in a picture of her. What name is Tyler using for his Instagram handle?
Oh, the looks of, I see the flop sweat on the forehead. It's just coming
Does
out.
anybody want to try?
I definitely don't know that.
Okay, the answer was Shutterbot.
That's right.
I think the next one, I would tell you guys, have those hands ready. Okay. I will be surprised if you both aren't jumping at this one. Bethany Joy Lenz and Tyler Hynes try to keep up appearances in an unexpected Christmas. What animal does Tyler dress up as for the Christmas play? Erin.
Unicorn.
Unicorn is correct. Steph, did you not know that?
No, I didn't rewatch this one, so I forgot.
I didn't rewatch that one either, but that was a moment.
I I don't remember the detail. Like it's like a kind of like I watch and then it's just
Yeah.
out. So I always struggle
That
with the
was a
trivia.
moment. Well, congratulations, Erin. You get to pick second. And Steph, you get to pick whatever is left over. Hopefully, it doesn't include overrides. Back to you, Lynn.
All right, we're going to shift into gameplay mode now. We've already talked about eligibility. Listeners, I just want to say the final eligibility list came to 40 movies. That's what they have to work with. They're going to battle it out and create the definitive top 10 list of the best Kiss Hallmark movies. You can find the list of eligible movies on our letterbox that's at Hallmark Drafts. You'll find that link and all the links to our socials, including Instagram and our YouTube channel, in the show notes. So follow them all, please, and share them with your friends. Okay, let's talk drafting positions for this match. There are 3 of them, A, B, and C. Drafter C picks 10, 7, and 3 on the list. They get 1 veto card and 1 veto override. Drafter B picks positions 9, 6, 4, and 2. Drafter B gets only 1 veto because they get 1 more pick than everybody else. So ostensibly, in a perfect world, more opportunities to get a movie from their personal list onto the final list because they get 1 point for every movie that makes it onto the final list that they had on their personal list. And they get a bonus point if it ends up in the same drafting position as well. And drafter A picks positions 8, 5, and the number 1 position on the list. They get a veto and a bonus veto. So basically, drafter A gets 2 vetoes and the number 1 position on the list to pick. So, Jackie, you won the trivia round. Do you want to be drafter A, B, or C?
I have a feeling that this is going to be all over the map. So I'm going to go with where I have 4 spots on the list. So I'm going to go drafter B.
Drafter B it is. You know, Jackie, I'm surprised that more people who win the trivia round don't go for Drafter B. It just makes perfect sense to me to try that one because at the end of the day, this is a competition and
It
you want to try to
is.
get those points. Jackie's going to be Drafter B. She gets 8, 6, 4, and 2, as I said. She gets 1 veto. She doesn't have any extra veto power coming in. Erin, our first timer, gets to pick either C or Drafter A. Which one would you like?
Well, I was expecting B or C, so I'm going to go with A.
Awesome. Erin is going to get 2 vetoes, the bonus veto and the one that comes with it. And she's going to get picks 8, 5, and the number 1 position. That's a lot of pressure depending on how this list turns out. And Stephanie ends up with drafter C. So she's going to kick off the list with 10, and then she'll get 7 and 3. That position comes with a veto, 1 veto override. She has an extra veto coming in, and she's got 2 veto overrides coming in. Steph, you want me to cross off one of those vetoes for you?
Veto override, please.
Okay, great. So that means that Stephanie is very balanced here. She's going to have 2 vetoes, 2 veto overrides to get through this match. All right. Everybody, here we go. Pucker up and buckle up. Stephanie, Preschel, get this list started. Number 10. What are you going to throw our way?
So for number 10, I think I'm going to be saying a movie that I am not anticipating other people will have on their list. I'll just throw that out there right now. But it is for me a very personal choice, The Holiday Sitter.
What is it that you like about the holiday sitter, Kiss?
So The Holiday Sitter for me was just so important for queer representation. Like as a queer person, the fact that it was Hallmark's first big holiday movie featuring 2 people of the same sex in the main relationship. It just meant so much. But I think too, for this movie, when they get to the kiss at the end, there's just been so much emotion leading up to it. Jonathan Bennett's character has just talked to his sister, had some like real talk, and gets into this whole I didn't know if I could find love and all of that. And so that when he does eventually kiss George's character, Jason, I think,
Jason, yep.
Jason, there's so much emotion that goes into that kiss. And so it just feels very representative of the queer experience. And so this one, I wouldn't say compared to maybe some of the other kisses on the eligibility list that it's like way, way, way better, but all the other pieces have it rise a lot higher for me. And I will say my one frustration is everybody watching them kiss at the end. I hate that.
It's
Like,
so
let them have a
cringe.
private kiss. It's so cringy. That's the one negative for it for me. But otherwise, I love this movie and love this kiss.
This is such a great movie, The Holiday Sitter 2022. Jonathan Bennett. Who doesn't love Jonathan Bennett? He's Sam. George Crissa is Jason, as you said. Chelsea Hobbs is in this. Sam is this workaholic bachelor who babysits his niece and his nephew before the holidays when his sister and her husband have to go out of town. So he's completely out of his element. It's very comedic. It's Jonathan being Jonathan, the Jonathan we all love. And he recruits help from a very handsome neighbor, and that's Jason George Crissa, and finds himself in an unexpected relationship. It's a beautiful movie, and I think it's a favorite by a lot of people. I think you'd be surprised maybe by that. It's just kind of sad that Hallmark didn't put forward more queer-friendly movies throughout 2025, not just during Countdown to Christmas, but throughout the whole year. I think in 2022 they were more forward in that. But let's see what your co-drafters think. So first up in the veto order is Jackie, The Holiday Sitter. Do you like this movie? Is it on your list? What are your thoughts?
I will not veto this one. I'm laughing because I have a very similar note that I said it's just very sweet and sensitive and tender. And like every other Hallmark kiss, everyone is around them cheering, all the family, friends. I mean, this is out in the street, the whole neighborhood is there. But while it wasn't steamy and all that stuff, I thought it was sweet. I had a note on here that it needed to be on the list more than anything because of the impact and the message. I felt like it was the mark of new Hallmark. But to your point, Lynn, I'm getting the sense we're moving a little bit backwards to old Hallmark, that they're not putting as much out there, although there was one Christmas movie with two female leads. So they're straddling the line. Your reasoning, Steph, was my reasoning.
Okay, Erin. So far it's staying at number 10 and on the list. What are your thoughts about The Holiday Sitter? Was it on your list?
Well, it is on my list and same position. So I'm off to a good start. I love this movie. I love everything it represents. I have a flame system for how I rated kisses in this draft, even though, to Jackie's point, it didn't have quite the steaminess of maybe some others. I felt like the buildup was there. There's a beautiful, like, covert handhold moment and singing Silent Night by the Christmas tree. I just thought it was the most beautiful story. The chemistry was there. So we were all rooting for them the whole time. So it got 9 flames in my meter and it is absolutely staying for me. Great start.
Wow, Stephanie, first of all, congratulations. You got your first pick locked in. Erin, double congratulations to you that you get not only a movie on your list, but in the same ranked positions. You are off to a great start. And I love your flame meter, flame scale. Absolutely great. I love it. So, number 10, we are done. Number 9, Jackie, is all yours. What are you going to offer up?
All right. Just checking out my list.
Okay.
I'm going to offer up Lights, Camera, Christmas. There are 2 kisses in there, but I'm putting forward just one of the kisses. It's the kiss when he takes her out to dinner on the movie set.
Lights Camera Christmas is from 2022. Kimberly Sustad is in this as Carrie. And listeners, just so you know, when you look at the list on Letterboxd, you'll see Kimberly Sustad is in a few of these movies that made the eligibility list. Kimberly is Carrie. John Brotherton is Brad. When a holiday rom-com movie shooting in her town needs a costume designer, Carrie, a local shop owner, steps into the role. And while working on the movie, she rediscovers her passion for costume design and finds herself falling for Brad, the film's famous leading man. Okay, Jackie.
They really made it feel like a romantic holiday movie scene. You start out with the camera with them in the corner at the table. Then all of a sudden they pull out and you realize this is a movie set. But they still kept it romantic as they moved to the dance floor and you have lights going on in the background. For me, it was slow dancing. as they were slowly moving into the kiss and the music's going. I actually Googled the song because I never knew the name of the song, and it's called The Christmas Song. It felt like a Hollywood movie would be, considering they're doing a Hollywood movie. It was romantic, and I just thought it was a fun premise and a really good bantering chemistry together.
So it's really like the whole scene put together, capped off with a kiss. Okay, Erin, that means you're first up in the veto order because it was Jackie's pick. What do you think of Lights, Camera, Kisses at number 9? Should this be on this list?
So I'm not going to veto it. It wasn't on my list, but I did give it 7 flames. I did think that the chemistry was there. I did like the movie within a movie premise. I thought it was cheeky and I enjoyed that. It didn't stick the landing for me. The ending was really clunky. And that kind of goes into my overall ranking of these, as I had to overall also feel like the kisses and the chemistry added to the overall movie, but I'm going to keep it because I think it's a good one and I love Kimberly Sustad. So I thought they had really good chemistry and then that scene was really good.
All good reasoning and 7 flames. I can't wait to hear what, the ones further up your list we're getting. It was 9 your highest? Was 10? What's the
9.5, I think, is the highest rating I gave.
out of a possible 10? Was that your
Yes.
limit for your scale? All right. Stephanie, Lights, Camera, Kisses makes it past Erin. What do you think of this movie?
This movie is a lot of fun. I also just want to say Kim Sustad is so gorgeous, and every time she's in a movie, I'm just so mesmerized by her. This is pretty low on my list, but more because of the kiss at the very end. That kiss was just so intense and it just felt so over the top. It kind of ruined it for me. I'm not going to use a veto. What Jackie shared about the kiss that was earlier, I get, but I don't want to use a veto this early because I feel as we move up the list, that's what I need to throw down. So,
Erinbeth, how many times do we hear this at number 9? I'm not going to use a veto now because, and what happens, Erinbeth? What happens when we get to 4?
Then they're playing movies that they all somewhat agree on, although I don't know it'll be in this case, and they've wasted not using their veto.
I know. And Stephanie has 2 vetoes. She's kind of being a little greedy, don't you think?
Yeah, she should share.
I don't believe in sharing.
Oh, please. You don't need to tell me that. Okay. It's on the list at number 9, and that brings us to number 8. Erin Johnson making her very first pick. This may define you the way it defined Brian Harold 4 years ago. What's it going to be for number 8?
So I'm throwing it back. I saw this movie for the first time for the draft, actually, and was pleasantly surprised. I'm offering up A Bride for Christmas with Andrew Walker and Ariel Kebble.
Yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised by this oldie, and I don't have the year in front of me.
2012.
2012. Okay. Andrew Walker's kind of hit or miss for me. I like him as an actor, but his movies are kind of hit or miss for me. So I was pleasantly surprised by their chemistry. I thought the plot was really original for 2012. Very How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. And I thought it was really quirky. They had great chemistry. They had a lot of kisses. The first one kind of took me by surprise. So that is why it is my number 8.
A Bride for Christmas. Love this movie. This movie often makes the top 10 lists of drafts when it's eligible. Ariel, just so gorgeous. One of my favorites. They made a sequel to this. If you like this movie, there is another one. Kimberly Sustad is in this as the sister. So basically, Andrew's a single man trying to win a bet by getting a woman who just recovered from a broken engagement to marry him by Christmas. Is it totally cringe in that way? Sure, but it's fantasy, people, so let it go. Embrace the moment, embrace the Hallmark universe, because movies in Hallmark from 2012 and earlier are not cookie cutter. They took risks. They put some things out there. This is one that really kind of speaks to that 2012 vibe. She's helping him out. She's like an interior designer or something like that. Doesn't matter. And they eventually, get together. I think one of my favorite lines from this movie is there are a lot of people that you can live with. There's only one that you can't live without. And I think that's what her father says to her. And I thought that was a really beautiful sentiment. I'm going to keep my fingers crossed for you, Erin, on this. Number 8, A Bride for Christmas. Jackie, what are your thoughts?
It's one of my favorite Hallmark movies. This is Andrew's first movie for Hallmark. It was also Kimberly's first movie for Hallmark. And of course, Ariel from Gilmore Girls fame. She's the aggressor on their first kiss, but you really do feel like they're falling in love. You can see her just falling for it. I made a note on here that it happened at the 59-minute mark, which I think we have one kiss that's earlier than that in a movie. Well, we have a couple that are a little bit earlier, but at that time to be not having just a kiss at the end, I thought was interesting. You see her when he stands up to the guy who's adopting the dog, you can just see her face transform. And then the wedding kiss, I mean, he goes full on open mouth there. I mean, and then they're going back and forth. So I would venture to say that on Erin's meter, it was probably high. It's not my favorite Andrew kiss, but it's a good Andrew kiss. So I am not going to veto.
How many flames is it on your meter, Erin?
9 flames.
9
3
flames.
kisses, 3 kisses, 9 flames.
Very good. All right, Stephanie, it looks like it's up to you. A Bride for Christmas. 3 kisses, 9 flames.
I think 9 flames is appropriate for this kiss. I do think the kiss that it's really leading up to, that kiss is too quick. It happens so fast. They go in and then it's just done. That was a bummer. This movie, one of the things that I love about it is with it being the early days of Hallmark, the fact that they have like a poker game and Andrew Walker loses his car in betting to her ex. That would never happen in a Hallmark movie today. And it's like, wait, what? I think this is a movie that a lot of people will be happy to see on the list. So I am not going to veto it.
I do think that Kimberly Sustad's character in this is the sister is gay.
She
Allusion
is.
to
Yes.
it. Okay.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. Great.
Which also was very unlike 2012.
Yeah.
Hallmark.
Yes. I loved that
So-
as well.
That brings us to number 7. We are cranking right along. Stephanie, the ball's in your court.
So my number 7, or I guess what I should say, what I'm putting out for number 7, or
You're always
playing.
putting out, Stephanie. Let's just
Okay, thanks. Lynn. Okay. I guess we're expecting something like that today with our topic. But
I
for
think
number
so.
7, I want to play Just One Kiss. That has Krista Rodriguez, Santino Fontana, also has our favorite Maddie Finocchio. This movie kind of makes you feel like you're going back in time. Santino's character, Tony, is a lounge singer. He's very kind of Frank Sinatra, sings a lot of kind of that like 40s big band vibe. Krista plays Mia. She's a professor, and she and her daughter move in across the hall in their apartments. And it's just about their relationship, getting to know each other. She's very resistant. He continues to pursue her, even though normally I'd be like, oh, that's a little creepy. But it just seems very romantic in this movie. I think one of the things that's really fun with the kisses in this movie is that there are so many, and that there's all these times where it breaks into a song. And it's just like a really, really fun movie, too. There's lots of dancing, singing, kissing. There's 2 moms, they're dead, but people watched it the first time, and a lot of people didn't know that, which also makes it fun. But I absolutely love Just One Kiss. I think it's one of the like better made movies for Hallmark, a little bit of a higher quality. So that's my number 7.
That's your number 7, Just One Kiss 2022. For all the things that you just said about it, you gave a great synopsis. Yes, guilty as charged. I'm one of the people, as was Bran from Deck the Hallmark podcast, who had no clue the moms were dead. I don't know how I missed that, but I did. This was ranked number 4 in the Nina Wyman draft that Sarah, Dan, and Aaron Rempe did a couple of months ago with Nina joining us. So it's great movie, great script, great ghosts, great kisses. There's a lot to love here for the number 7 position. But let's see what Jackie thinks. And just before, Jackie, you tell us, I'm not being rude to Erinbeth, panelists. It's just that none of the movies on her list have been played yet.
I think they're going to be. I'll be honest. My barometer for good kisses must be just totally off.
Gosh, I'm
No.
crying. Okay, Jackie, just one kiss.
It's not on my list, and I am debating my veto because I watched this at 2 o'clock this morning, and I just didn't feel like any of the kisses were hot. Yeah, there were a lot of kisses, and there's this whole discussion about a kiss. I'm really killing time while I decide whether to veto it or not. Sorry, Steph.
Jackie, I would say it is not a movie with like
Yeah.
steamy kisses.
It isn't.
It's just like this like light romantic kind of vibe.
Yeah.
So it's different than some of the other.
It's a fun movie. I enjoyed the movie. He is an annoying character. How we all missed at the opening sequence in the movie theater that the moms were dead, talking at the top of their voices. I don't know how we all missed it the first time around. It's like the Sixth Sense. How did we not get it?
There
Okay.
were those of us that knew the moms were dead.
Ouch.
Sorry.
Ouch.
All right. Sorry. Stupid me did not know.
Well,
The moms
Erin
or
Beth's
unobservant me.
Erin Beth's
not
sounding a little hostile because none of her movies have been played, and she might be going down in flames. And not the kissing flames of
Yeah.
Erin's barometer over there. Just
Yeah.
the dumpster fire bad at making list
Yeah.
flames. Good.
I think I'm going to let it go.
Jackie's going to give up the ghost, as they
I'm
say.
going to give up the ghost.
Okay, Erin, just one kiss at 7. It's going to stay. What are you going to do?
So it's going to stay. I had this a lot higher. I'm just going to thank my luck and thank Steph that she played it because it's definitely higher on my list. All the reasons that Stephanie said are valid. I agree they weren't the steamiest, but I did have it high as an 8 flames because there were 4 of them, and I thought the chemistry was really good. I liked that she was spicy. And, they were friends first. I really liked that slow burn. I'm a sucker for a musical. I have a 10-year-old and one of her favorite movies still is Frozen. The lead male is one of the voices in Frozen. So I have a soft spot, but definitely just very romantic. It was one of Hallmark's best over the last several years. So yeah, great pick.
Erin's already up to 3 points, and I'm not even a score creeper here. So we'll see what's going to happen. Just One Kiss is locked in at number 7. Jackie, that brings us to you. What are your thoughts for number 6? What are you going to offer up?
I'm going to offer up Guiding Emily.
2023, Sarah Drew, always crushing it, is Emily. Antonio Cupo is Matthew. Emily is an active and athletic businesswoman who struggles to cope with her new reality after losing her sight in a climbing accident she had with her boyfriend, whose name I don't remember. Garth is a potential guide dog for her, struggling with his training, and he's voiced by Eric McCormick from Will and Grace. Matty Finocchio, we love him, plays Drew, Emily's supporting colleague at work. Emily's boyfriend moves away for a new job, so he's useless in helping Emily to adjust. And Antonio Cupo is Matthew, the owner of the indoor climbing center where Emily used to go before losing her sight. So maybe he and Emily will fall in love. I don't know. Will they, Jackie?
I told you guys in the chat, I had one that was in their second spot and then it moved out of the list. This was it. After I watched that movie, I'm like, oh my God, it's going right after my number 1. I just had so many feelings from it. And then yesterday I was like, well, maybe that was just an emotional thing. And it moved out. And then this morning it moved back in. The very first kiss with the fiance was a really good kiss. To me, they look like a couple very much in love. And I think we all know people who can't manage circumstances and bail on a relationship, even if they care for the person. So yeah, I liked that kiss. The one with Antonio Cupo, the one at the end where she manages to achieve climbing the mountain, even though she's blind, and the dog's up there, there's just something that made me happy and joyful. And you believe they were in love, and it makes you have hope that regardless of who you are, regardless of your circumstances, there is somebody for you out there. So the romantic in me felt very moved by this movie and felt very moved by their kiss at the end.
I would find it hard to veto this movie after that. But this is Erin's first time, and we don't know how ruthless she can be. So,
Yeah,
Erin.
and Steph doesn't care whether she's my friend or not.
Stephanie.
So
Did you notice Stephanie muted, took herself off camera, and she probably went and walked her dog during that whole thing. I mean, who knows with Stephanie? Erin, it's up to you first, though.
I have this a lot higher, so I have a decision to make. I love this movie. For a little while, I had it at number one. It's no longer my number one, but I had it there for a while. I thought the kiss with Antonio Cupo, the climbing wall, when she clarifies whether he's a friend or not, I thought was just so moving and so steamy. It got 9.5 flames. So I definitely want it on the list, but I might want it higher.
So the only picks you have left is 5 and 1.
Yes.
So it would move up. It might move up 1 unless Stephanie overrides it. And you never know what she's going to do.
I know. Okay, so I'm going to keep it.
All right. I think that's a good choice. I hope I didn't influence you.
No, you validated my decision. So thank you.
Okay. Good. Are you still alive over there, Erinbeth? Because still no
never
movies from your list.
gotten this many picks without a single movie. But I will tell you, I went into this knowing that this was probably going to happen because I really did make a list with my heart.
I love that about you. I really do. Okay, so Guiding Emily at number 6, played by Jackie. Erin's leaving it here, so it's up to, the wild, wild west over here. Stephanie, are you going to leave it at number 6? What are your thoughts on this movie?
I also love this movie. Jackie, it's funny that you mentioned that it was in your list and it wasn't, and then it was back in. This was in my list and then just fell out. So it didn't end up in my top 10. One of the things that I love is I feel like this kiss, it reminds me of when you're reading a romance book and two best friends are finally like, oh my God, I'm in love with you, and kiss. And that's what this kiss feels like in this movie. I'm very okay with it on the list. Just sad, not going to get a point. But that's okay.
This is great. All right, let me do a quick state of the list. At number 10, we have The Holiday Sitter. At 9, Lights, Camera, Kisses. At 8, A Bride for Christmas. At 7, Just One Kiss. At 6, Guiding Emily. Number 5, Erin. We are at the halfway point, Erin. No pressure here. But I don't think you're feeling any pressure because you've got your little flamethrower scale. We've already divulged you've got at least 3 points at this point. What are you going to offer up for number 5, halfway through the list?
Okay, so I'm going to go with a movie I really want on the list that I'm less sure will be played. I'm going to go with The Real West with Kimberly Sestad and Lucas Bryant.
What did you love about this movie or the kiss?
So there were 2 kisses, and the first one was a dream sequence that was very bodice ripper romance novel-esque. It took me a minute to realize it was a dream. She's wearing a dress where the strap goes down. It's very Danielle Steele, and I thought she and Lucas Bryant had amazing chemistry. We've already established, I think we're all big Kimberly Sestad fans over here. I feel like she's the Sandra Bullock of Hallmark. I don't know if I can go that far, but that's what I would liken her to. I felt she can do comedy, she can do drama. She's just very, very likable in all of her movies. And I feel she has chemistry with just about anyone she's paired with. I really think that this movie deserves to be on the list. It had 9 flames on my ranking. I think 9 flames for the first kiss, 8 for the ending kiss. I thought their chemistry was excellent. And yeah, that's my number 5 pick.
I love this choice for you. I really do. 2024, everybody that you've mentioned, Antonio Caone is also in this. James Denton as well. Just love him. So Kim's character, Rebecca, she's a widow. Her husband died, a couple of years ago. She's got 2 sons. Noah's 17, Ollie is 3. She's a professor chasing tenure at her university. And she goes on this, family vacation to a working dude ranch along with her mom and her kind of flighty sister, Cassidy, who's single. And to make a very long story short, basically Lucas Bryant's character Jake is at this dude ranch. There's an instant connection between them. They've got a really cute meet cute, but her sister Cassidy is kind of pairing up with Jake, and that's a little bit awkward, I think. But things work out. It's Hallmark, so that's good. Lucas Bryant sings in this movie, Ain't You a Cowboy? Which makes it eligible for the upcoming Don't Make Me Sing draft in May of 2026. That's a draft that we're all looking forward to. Yeah, the Real West at number 5. Jackie, Lucas Bryant, Kimberly Sested, Cowboys, Horses, Kisses.
This one, I will tell you, I don't even know if it made my top 25. It's in the bottom of the pile.
Wow.
I'm sorry, but I will use a veto on this one. I barely even remember the dream sequence. I do think they were fun in the intro when they first meet, but I could have cared less about them getting together at the end. And it was, they gave up, I forget which one is after a week changing their whole life. I know that's Hallmark's thing. I will give props to Kimberly Sested's character for trying not to encroach upon her sister's boyfriend, but I don't even understand what he saw in her. So it was just not for me.
The first veto of the match at number 5 is coming from Jackie.
Feel I'm going to get payback, or Steph may use one of those overrides.
You've got a whole bunch of overrides. Do you want to override this?
Okay, there's a part of me that wants to use a veto override because I do love this movie, and their chemistry is insane. But it's one of the ones that just fell out of my top 10, and I have barely anything on the list. Most of my top 10's not here, so I want to see if something else that Erin picks might end up being like one of mine as well. So I am not using a veto override.
Erin, that means you've got to give us another one for number 5.
I'm ready. I'm going to go with A Rip in Time.
I see some reactions. I see some reactions here from your fellow drafters. Talk to me about A Rip in Time and why you've chosen this at number 5.
I feel like it's talked about a lot in terms of the kiss. I mean, it was a wackadoo plot, right? It was a suspending your disbelief, but it was very romantic, and I thought it was like the return of Niall Mater in terms of his swooniness. Stop the Wedding it's not on this list of eligibility, but it's one of my all-time favorite Niall Mater movies. And I feel like he kind of veered away from that a little bit, but A Rip in Time, I feel like, was his return. And I liked the chemistry he had with Tori DeVito.
Yep.
Yes.
Tori DeVito. Yeah.
I thought they had really good chemistry. Again, it's a wackadoo plot, but it was very romantic. The kiss in the rain was very, very swoony, and I gave it 9 flames. So that's my number 5 pick.
9 flames for Rip in Time. Erinbeth, unmute yourself, girl. Finally, a movie from your list.
I think everyone knows. I have not hidden over many, many episodes anytime I get a chance to talk about this movie. It's absolutely one of my favorite Hallmark movies of all time because it is wackadoo and it's so much fun. But that kiss, like it's the best. And 5 makes me sad. It is such a good movie. And Niall, my boy, I picked him over Dylan Neal. I mean, historically, he's my guy. So I'm sad. I'm sad, Erin.
No, it's good. It's good for Rip in Time at number 5 currently from 2022. So he's Rip Van Winkle Jr., people. Suspend your belief. Organic farmer Sarah, that's Tori, meets a man in a cave, I think it was, who claims to be from 1787. And she soon discovers old-fashioned romantic feelings that might be just as crazy as his story. This movie has a kiss in the rain scene, which is so swoony and so fire. It was actually the inspiration for the Best Kiss draft that we're doing today. In the time travel draft with Dan, Bran, and Brian from the Deck the Hallmark podcast in July of 2024, it was ranked number 1, and it ranked number 14 in the One Tree Hill lead cast draft. That was a mega draft in 2024. by Jen, Kate, Emily, and Jessica. So this time it's sitting at number 5 for now. Jackie, you have used your veto, so you can't do anything. But before we get to Steph, what are your thoughts on this movie? Do you like Rip in Time?
It was number 11 on my list. I kept falling down. I do like it. I think Erinbeth needs to thank me because had I not vetoed the previous pick, who knows if it would have made the list at any point. So say thank you. Obviously, the kiss was hot enough that the sheriff or whatever he is gets so upset that he basically lays on a lie to Niall's character to make him leave. I mean, talk about level of jealousy, how good that kiss was. It did fall out because I felt there were certain other movies that needed to be here for other reasons.
Hey, Stephanie, you do have a veto. The Real West is gone, so it's Rip in Time. Is it going to stay?
It's definitely going to stay. I also have this on my list. I have it a little bit higher. I'm thrilled that I did not use my veto override. And yeah, I'll take the point and move on. Sounds
Take,
good.
take the point and move on. This is great. Before we get to number 4, let me give a quick state of the list again. We have at 10, The Holiday Sitter. At 9, Lights, Camera, Kisses. At 8, A Bride for Christmas. At 7, Just One Kiss. At 6, Guiding Emily. At 5, Rip in Time. And at number 4, Jackie, what will it be? This is your next to last pick. You still get a pick at number 2.
At number 4, I'm going to play How to Fall in Love. First of all, it always cracks me up that Eric Mabius is this character when he was like the cad in Ugly Betty. He just total opposite. I think about that every single time there's a signed, sealed, and delivered movie on. The kiss on the couch. It's the lead up to it where he's checking his breath first, where he's checking it into his hand. I mean, who hasn't done that breath check before? She's giving him instructions on what to do, and it's just like a slow, sensual kiss. When he asks how it was, that you can see this nervousness in him, the way he's looking at her, and she's smiling with her eyes closed, and then she pulls back because she's realizing she's the coach. It shouldn't be happening. At the end, should we practice a few more times? It's a fun scene, and you see chemistry in that. So that is my pick for number 4.
I love this movie so much, and I'm a big Brooke Dorsey fan. I think she's great.
Yep.
I love her. Kathy Najimy is in this. Jesse Hutch is in this. It's such a great cast. Eric's character, he's this awkward accountant, and he takes Annie on as sort of a dating coach. She happens to be his high school crush, right? Didn't stand a chance, or so he thought. So it's really a lot of fun, a lot of positive vibes, lots of romance. I'm going to keep my fingers crossed for you, Jackie, that it stays at number 4. But first, it has to get past Erin. So, Erin, what do you think of this movie? Do you like it?
I love this movie. This is one of my all-time favorites. Unfortunately, it's right outside of my top 10. I went back and forth. But I think I am going to keep it. But it's right at number 11 for me. So, but good pick for all the reasons you said.
It didn't make my top 10 either, even though I love it. This is in my top 20 favorite all time since the beginning of time Hallmark movies. Not that my list matters, but it didn't make my top 10 either. But let's see if it makes Stephanie's top 10. What is she going to do? How to Fall in Love, Stephanie.
Okay, so I know this is a big fan favorite, but I have to veto it.
Oh my gosh.
I have to veto.
Listeners, you heard Erin play with love. It's not even on Erin's list. And she said, I'm going to leave it because I love this movie, even though I'm not getting a point. But Stephanie, sharp that she is, says, no,
Yeah,
absolutely not.
so this is the last one. I've ranked this 40 out of the 40, and more of it is because I just can't watch movies with him anymore due to some things in his personal life. Feel free to Google. I don't want to get sued for slander or anything, but I can't watch him anymore. So, and there's so many other great kisses, so I feel like we could have something else on the list.
You're not wrong.
So,
So Google is
yeah.
your friend. Google is your
Yeah.
friend, and yeah, but
Always
yeah,
hard when their personal life
Mhm.
Yeah.
overshadows their work.
clashes thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And I will say, I feel like this veto makes it sound like I always watch with integrity, and I can't say that that's true. So I feel like I should throw that out there too. I feel like I might have a double standard on some movies like this, but there's something with him. I can't watch him anymore. So,
Okay, Jackie, we need a replacement for number 4. It's coming down to the wire.
I'm going to replace it with Sweeter Than Chocolate. All this talk about Bissingers, got to get the Cupid on there. And I will say, I met the author of the book, Lizzie Shane, that it's based on, at a romance writers literary thing. And that's when I first discovered her writing, long before she wrote this. So it was very exciting to see her have a movie made by Hallmark. She's a fun romance writer.
So Sweeter Than Chocolate, 2023, Eloise Mumford, Dan Jeanette, who we all love. Most of us love him. Scrap that. We all love him. Carrying on the legacy of her grandfather, Lucy Sweet, that's Eloise, is the master chocolatier of How Sweet It Is. The business is facing a massive rent increase, blah, blah, blah. They fall in love and kiss, and there's lots of chocolate in the movie. And the chocolate Cupid is one of Bissinger's most beloved chocolates. You can find it on their website. You can use your HMD promo code to get 15% off. We, Erinbeth, Dan Abel Jr., the CEO and chief chocolatier for Bissinger's, and I ranked their top 10 most popular chocolates. This was a few months ago. I ranked the Cupid's hit 10th, and I was very unfair about that because I think I was just on chocolate overload. It was just the most amazing thing. It's got 3 types of chocolate. It's filled with raspberry. It's a love bomb in your mouth. That sounded horrible, but you know what I mean.
Got what you mean. You got what you mean. Okay. It's the scene. It's kind of like a 2 scene for 1 kiss. The way it just kind of goes over. I found it very sceney in my head. They're live on air, chasing the first Cupid for them both, and they're looking at each other's eyes. And then this is again in front of everybody. They do the big kiss, which, enough of kissing in front of everybody. They wrap their arms around each other. The whole crowd's cheering. But then they move the kiss into the chocolate shop where she's standing in front, swirling the chocolate, and he comes up behind her. And then she turns to look up at him, and they're nose to nose, and their heads are leaning towards each other, and she's also leaning her back in. I don't know. It just felt so romantic, and it was a Loveuary movie. It was romance, so that's why I'm recommending it be put on the list.
Okay, Sweeter Than Chocolate at number 4. You've heard Jackie's plea. Yes, Dan Jeanette is a TV reporter that goes to see, is this legendary Cupid chocolate that some people are claiming 1 bite will help you find your true love, and fall in love. Is this really real, or is it BS? That kind of a thing. So there are lots of little layers to this. Sex and chocolate. It's a good match. Erin, back to you.
Okay, so I'm torn because this is also not on my list. But I'm afraid if I veto it, what's going to come up? Because we're 0 for 2. Yeah. I gave it 7.5 flames, but I felt like it was very generic Hallmark. That got it knocked down in my ranking. I do love Eloise Mumford. I thought she and Dan Jeanette had really good chemistry. I love him. Shout out if you haven't seen, I'm going to shout out a Lifetime movie, but there aren't very many that I love, but he was in one called Ghosts of Boyfriends Past. I think that was the name. It was so good. It's my favorite of his movies. It was fantastic. So, okay, I'm going to leave it because I'm afraid of what might be played if I don't. So I'm going to leave it.
Okay, Erin's going to leave Sweeter Than Chocolate at number 4. We only have 3 more movies left, Stephanie. You still have a veto. You going to leave Sweeter Than Chocolate at number 4?
well, I was kind of hoping Erin would use her veto so I could finally use a veto override because I love this at number 4. I love this movie. I love how Jackie described the kiss. When he spins her, I'm like, oh my Yes, Finn. That does not happen much in a Hallmark movie. I love it. I don't have anything like helpful to add, so this is great.
My memory, though, of this kiss when everybody went nuts in the chat at some point was he like lifted her onto the table, and I don't know why that's in my memory, but
That's in my memory too. I actually wondered if they changed it, if they cut part of it when they moved it
okay,
to Hallmark Plus,
all right.
because
So
that
thank you.
was,
Okay,
I distinctly remember, and I mean, my memory could be wrong, but I do remember that also, Jackie, because I remember
yeah,
watching live with everyone and we were all freaking the F out about it because we're like, what? Like,
yeah,
this is in a Hallmark movie?
because
So
it
there's,
wasn't as hot as I remembered, but
yeah.
it was still steamy.
Hmm. There's a couple other movies like that where I was like, I remember this being much steamier when it was on TV. It was less. So, yeah.
I think you're right. Okay, you guys, we're in the final three here. You're doing really, really well. Stephanie, it's up to you. Your final pick of the match for number three. What is going to sit above Sweeter Than Chocolate?
This is tough.
I know.
Okay. I'm going to go with Savoring Paris. I love Bethany Joy Lenz. She goes off to Paris to find herself, to get away from her life in the States. She starts kind of seeing some guy. There's a mid-movie kiss with a guy that is not who she's actually going to end up with. That I don't think we've ever seen before on Hallmark. And then she's obsessed with cheese. She loves cheese. It's part of like every scene, not really every scene, but it's so much in this movie. But she falls in love with the guy that owns the cheese shop. They work together and she ends up staying. Not a great synopsis of the movie, but their kiss, it's another one where it's like, it's not necessarily like really steamy, but it's just so romantic. It reminds me of like other like a movie with a much larger budget kind of production when it comes to kind of the romance, the kiss, them getting together at the end. So I think this movie is amazing.
What you said is almost exactly what you wrote for the description.
Oh, great. Okay.
No, it wasn't. Not even close. Come on.
Oh, damn. I was like, did I really write that?
No,
That
you
doesn't,
didn't.
I know. So I was like, that wasn't good.
Savoring Paris 2024. You crushed it. BJL is Ella. For the first time ever in the history of me talking about this movie, I'm getting the name right. Stanley Weber is Serge. He's the cheesemonger, whatever it's called. To your point about the budget, her wardrobe is phenomenal. Just love it. She's beautiful in everything that she wears, but the outfits in this movie are just so awesome. I'm going to keep my fingers crossed for you for Savoring Paris at number three, and we'll see. Jackie, I want to get your thoughts. You don't have a veto. You can't do anything. I'm giving Erin a little bit of time to think about what she wants to do.
Love Savoring Paris. When I did the food draft, I was very high up on my list. It's number 13 on my list here. I can't do anything about it. To your point, I thought it was exceptionally bold of Hallmark to have her actively kiss two very different people, a little bit different than Guiding Emily, because there was a reason for the fiance kiss versus the new guy. This was just dating kisses. And there was a lot of humor around it as well. So I love the movie. I'm not terribly sad it's on the list. I'm sad I'm not going to get a point. That's where I am.
This was ranked number one in the One Tree Hill lead cast draft that was done in September 2024. And it was ranked number five in the draft that you were a panelist on, Jackie, with Brian Harold from the Deck the Hallmark podcast and Cece Ponce, who's been a friend of mine for several years. And I only a couple of months ago learned how to pronounce her last name correctly. So there's that. It was
And
ranked
she drew that
number
darn
five.
veto out of me that put the worst movie at the top.
Erin, it's all on your shoulders. Savoring Paris, is it going to stay at number three?
Okay, I have to veto it. I need it higher. I want it higher. This is one of my all-time favorite movies. Jackie, to your earlier comment, it was not on my list at all until I think a couple days ago when I watched it again because it stays on my DVR and it's a comfort watch for me. I think it's very cinematic. I show it to friends who don't do Hallmark movies. I think it's just one of the best Hallmarks made in a really long time. I loved the mosaic, or the not mosaic, the the oh my gosh, words are failing me. The painting on the wall behind them that
The
tells the
mural.
time. The mural. Thank you, Lynn. Oh my goodness.
It's my art history degree, just so you know.
Wonderful. Did I mention I'm a therapist and use words for a living? Mural. There's a mural that is created throughout the course of the movie. I just thought it was a beautiful movie, but it's too low. So veto.
All right, Savoring Paris is getting vetoed. So, Steph, what are you going to replace it with? Because Erin thinks it should be higher.
I'm like, do I go up on my list? Do I go down? What do I think Jackie's gonna play?
I am in pain right now because
Yeah.
I don't know
Oh,
which of
okay.
my top
Okay.
3 I'm going to play.
Okay. That is very helpful, Jackie. Lynn, were you gonna say something?
All I was going to say is this is top 3, and there are some movies that people tend to talk about with fiery kisses that haven't been discussed yet. So you have a lot of pressure, but you have to play. You don't have to play your list, but you do you and see what happens.
Yeah. Maybe at the end we can talk about ones that we thought would be on our list that didn't end up after we rewatched. Because
Okay.
there's a couple that I feel like I remember being really steamy and then weren't. But if we have time. At number 3, I'm going to play Adventures in Love and Birding with Rachel Boston and Andrew Walker. I can kind of take or leave Andrew Walker. I know he's very popular. I enjoy him, but it's not like he's my favorite. Their little maneuvering in the bowling alley when everyone is watching, that is when everyone should watch. Normally, I don't want people watching the kisses. It's so cringy, but this was so good. All I'll just say is 15 out of 10. No notes. It was great.
If you're in a bowling alley on a date, I think kissing can only help elevate that
Okay,
choice.
sure.
Second
That's
only to
true.
pickleball. Stephanie,
You love pickleball so
I
much.
hate.
So
Not gonna happen.
this movie also the movie is so good. I know it's based off a book. I've heard the book is really good. I've heard the book is actually very spicy. So the movie seems very tame in comparison. But it has one of my favorite tropes, fake dating. They go and do all this bird watching. And I remember when I first heard the premise, I was like, this movie is ridiculous. Like, why do we want a movie on bird watching? I'm sorry, I know, sorry, that was sounded really mean. But it was one of my favorite movies last year. Their chemistry is great, and the kisses were really great at the bowling alley, and then again at the end at the art gallery at the show when they admit their feelings for each other.
It's nice to know that you are playing this at number 3, even though you hate nature. So that's good. It's good that you can, broaden your mind that way. I'm just a 95-year-old librarian at heart because my husband and I have a bird feeder in the backyard. And if you follow me on my personal Facebook page, it is like, here's a male cardinal, here's a female cardinal. Oh my God, we have a bluebird family. But it's okay. Jackie.
It is my number 3. Everything Steph said, and there are a few other things. It was at the 34-minute mark. He's rubbing her clavicle. He asks permission to kiss her, like talk about being a gentleman and asking for permission. And then you get the friends tilting their head, watching them. And, Andrew's the kisser with the big mouth all the time on them, and the head moves, and you can just feel that they're into the kiss. Lynn's face.
Are you describing the Mr. Potato Head?
He always opens up his mouth wide and goes in for the kiss. So funny. It's not in a bad way. You were talking about guppy kisses. He is not a guppy kisser at all. I wrote down, it is steamy. So
Okay.
and another movie that was steamy as well, but this one, I love it at number 3. I don't think Erin has any more vetoes, but I'm not sure. So we'll see.
Erin actually does have another veto left. Erin, are you a fan of this movie? Do you think Andrew Walker and his big mouth kisses are appropriate for the number 3 spot? How do you feel about nature, Erin?
I love nature.
Thank you.
I think I might have been responsible for adding this one actually to the list. It's not on my final list, however, but I am going to leave it. because
Okay.
I want to see what Jackie does for number 2. And I do have a veto left.
And she does. That's the way to play the game. She just slides that right in there. I want to see what Jackie does at number 2, and I do have a veto left. There was no pause there, Jackie. All right, Jackie, it's your final pick at number 2, sitting above Adventures in Love and Birding at number 3.
Could do gameplay and play my number 2 and get 2 points, hopefully, if Erin doesn't veto it, or I could play my number 1. Both
So
of these, I'm sad won't be on the list if either of them doesn't come on. I am
So think about that for a second while I check in with Erinbeth to see if she's still alive, because we've only heard from her on one movie. How you doing over there, Erinbeth? Are you sharpening all your scorekeeping pencils? Have you started sewing? Did I see you drag out your sewing machine and you're just like,
There's nothing for me here. I'm living happy in my own little world with my own little kisses. It's okay. I'm fine. You know, I'm scoring. You guys just keep on not picking the right movies, but that's okay. You do you.
okay, Jackie, I need a title. What are you going to give us?
I am going to go with Catch Me If You Claus, because obviously Erin is not going to be playing that at number 1, and I do think this one needs to be on the list. That scene that we all loved when they are running away and hiding and jump in the car and she straddles him. She's got the backwards hat on. When they start kissing, the whole world just disappears for them. They are into it. They're unaware of the bad guys running around, the fog coming up on the windows in the car. It's so spontaneous. When they pull apart, they're both breathless and stunned, looking at each other and can't believe it. And you feel that electricity. And they are both 2 actors that I really like. I loved her in Chasing Life, and I am thrilled she has somewhat of a life in Hallmark. And obviously, she does a lot of other stuff as well. But this, to me, this was not Hallmark, and not Hallmark in a great way.
So Catch Me If You Claus 2023. Italia Ricci is Avery. Luke McFarlane is Chris. Avery Quinn's shot at anchoring the news clashes with a Santa-suited intruder, Chris, that's Luke, who insists he's Santa's son and on his very first Christmas mission. And they unravel a career-making story together and share one of the hottest kisses on Hallmark. We refer to it as the straddle kiss, those of us who are watching it live as a group. Nina Wyman wrote this script. She talks about it in the show that she joined us on a couple of months ago. Give the Nina Wyman draft a listen, because she shares a lot of behind the scenes info on how she wrote it, what happened on set, all that kind of stuff. It's really great. This was ranked 6 in the 2023 top 10 Christmas drafts. It was number 3 in the Nina Wyman draft. I don't think you can go wrong with putting this on a best kiss list. Erin, are you going to leave this here at number 2? Catch Me If You Claus?
I am going to leave it here. Well done, Jackie. I had it high on my list because I thought this was pretty universal. One of the reasons this draft was created. So yes, for all the reasons you said, it was surprising. It was fun to hear the behind the scenes of where the movie originated and how it came to be. And Chasing Life, shout out. That's a show nobody talks about. I loved that show. It was Gone Too Soon. And Scott Michael Foster also was on that. And it's been fun to see him in a few Hallmark movies. But yeah, underrated show. Love Italia Ricci. And this was one of her best. I love this at number 2. Good choice.
Shout out Scott Michael Foster. Yes. Oh my gosh. Absolutely. And can I just say, Luke McFarlane, very, very open about being gay. Every movie that he is in, that man knows how to kiss a woman and kiss her well. Take notes, guys in Hallmark, because Luke McFarlane's putting y'all to shame. There's some serious heat. What flame rating did you give Catch Me If You Claus, Erin?
Let's see. It was one of my 2 9.5s. Definitely.
That sounds good. It will always be known as straddle kiss.
Truly.
Okay, Stephanie, Catch Me If You Claus at number 2. You have a veto. Are you going to use it?
I want to go back to the Chasing Life shout out. I don't think I've heard anyone mention that show at all. I loved that show. I also loved her on Designated Survivor. She was great there as well. If you like a political procedural, that's a really great show. This movie is so much fun. So many times we hear the premise of these movies and it's like, oh no, what is that going to look like? But Luke McFarlane as Santa, or as gonna be Santa, he was so charming and was so fun. And this movie I love. I'm not gonna veto it. One of the things that I love at the end is they have a more romantic kiss. There's the straddle kiss, and then there's the one at the end that's much more romantic. And then, he just snaps his fingers. It starts snowing, and it's like, of course he did that. He's Santa. He's got the Christmas magic. This movie's so much fun, and I'm glad it's on the list.
Good call. I forgot about the snapping fingers snowfall. That is absolutely great. Guys, it's to number one with Erin. So, Erin, here's the list. At 10, The Holiday Sitter. At 9, Lights, Camera, Kisses. At 8, A Bride for Christmas. At 7, Just One Kiss. At 6, Guiding Emily. At 5, we ultimately landed on Rip in Time. At 4, another veto thrown, but landed with Sweeter Than Chocolate. At 3, Adventures in Love and Birding. At 2, Catch Me If You Claus. And at number 1, Erin, what do you think that movie should be?
Savoring Paris.
Tell us your thoughts on Savoring Paris.
This was actually, I ranked it as a 9. I mean, there were movies I ranked higher for Flames, but the overall movie really won me over. Like I said, 2 days ago, it wasn't even on my list, but after a rewatch, and honestly, I didn't have it on at first because I felt like it was represented on a lot of lists, and I thought, well, we'll give some other ones a turn. But after another rewatch, I decided, nope, it's that good. She has chemistry with both of them. The kisses with both were good. Both tell the person walking into the store that they're closed, and they both do it in French. And I just thought it was very steamy. They're making out. He throws her over his shoulder at one point. Their chemistry is so good and playful. I loved the through line that she always smelled like cheese, and I found that really funny. It was just very, very charming, and the chemistry. I loved the best friend. There was awesome friend chemistry, or not best friend, but roommate turned really good friend and confidant. I thought she was fantastic. I'd love to see her in more things. And the fashion was amazing. It's just a great movie from start to finish, and I thought the kiss just elevated it. So it's my number 1.
Beautifully said. So, Stephanie, you played that at number 3. I assume you're good with this at number 1?
Yes, I'm very okay with this at number 1.
Okay. And Jackie, any other thoughts on this?
Like I said, I loved the movie. This was an example, though, of where I had to go the Kiss versus a favorite movie. Because I have a movie in my list that is not a favorite movie, but I felt it was such an earned and waited for Kiss. And then Savoring Paris was one that I loved the movie, but to me, the kiss wasn't as steamy and hot. And that's what I think was fun about this draft is what we all wanted in a kiss is a little bit different.
You guys, you did such a great job. This was so much fun. Before we get to your personal lists and before Erinbeth tells us which one of you won the match, Erinbeth, why don't you and I share our personal list because yours is a complete mystery except for one title. And then you can do the little math calculations and tell us which one of us might have scored a point or two here. Go for it.
All right. Starting with number 10, My Dreams of You. 9, Crashing Through the Snow. 8, Christmas Island. 7, Smooch. 6, The Mistletoe Promise. 5, Sweet Autumn. 4, Mystery 101 and Education in Murder. 3, Villa Amore. And then finally, 2, Catch Me If You Claus. And everyone knows my number 1 is Rip in Time. But I would like to just highlight a little bit Crashing Through the Snow. It's such an excellent movie. I like movies where they're mature, they're adults, they're working through things. This is a divorced couple that gets together for Christmas. I will share that my ex-husband and his family spent Christmas Eve and Christmas together with our children all in one place. It can happen, it does happen, and it's great for the kids. So I love that that was pictured there in that. And oh, it's a stare kiss, and I love it. It's a really good steamy kiss, but Crashing Through the Snow, I was kind of sad not to see it on the list, but obviously if it's on my list, it doesn't belong anywhere. So I scored a grand total of 3 points.
Congratulations. Okay, here's my list just really quickly. At 10, A Bride for Christmas. At 9, Mail Order Bride. It's a movie from 2008. Everybody should watch this movie. This is earlier Hallmark. Daphne Zuniga is in this. It's, it's crazy. It's bonkers, but it's not to be missed because it's just wild. At 8, Smooch. This is the movie where Kiernan Brennan Shipka is Zoe. She was Sally Draper on Mad Men, a series that I love and miss very much. And she finds a frog, kisses it. She believes it turns into a prince, but it's actually this prince that she finds out passed out by the little pond or whatever. Kelly Martin is in this. It's a charming movie, and everyone should watch this one too. I'm so bummed it didn't make the list. At 7, A Country Wedding. At 6, The Real West. At 5, An Unexpected Christmas. At 4, It Was Always You. At 3, A Picture of Her. At 2, Catch Me If You Claws. And at 1, Ripped in Time. How'd I do?
You only scored 1 more point than me. So
Thank you.
neither one of us did very well today. You scored 4 points to my 3. So congratulations.
Thank
You
you so
did take
much.
this one.
Yeah, barely. But hopefully people will take a look at the movies that you and I put onto our list. Before Erinbeth reveals the final scores, let's hear your personal list. Jackie, why don't you start, please? What was your personal list from 10 to 1?
My 10 was The Holiday Sitter. So we all, I think, had The Holiday Sitter at 10. Lights, Camera, Christmas was number 9. A Country Wedding was 8. A Bride for Christmas, 7. Guiding Emily, 6. Sweeter Than Chocolate, 5. How to Fall in Love, 4. Adventures in Love and Birding, Crashing Through the Snow. Thank you for giving it a shout out, Erinbeth, was number 2 for me. And then number 1 was Catch Me If You Claws.
Great. Erin, what was your list, please? 10 to 1.
Okay. So, man, Lynn, if you had been playing, you would have pulled out my vetoes really early on. Unfortunately, I was kind of screaming at the TV watching a couple of those. So, I knew they had to be your
My
picks
red
on there,
herrings.
and Erinbeth, we had some similarities on a couple. So, number 10, Holiday Sitter. Number 9, Villa Amore. That I'll talk about in a second. 8, A Bride for Christmas. 7, Crashing Through the Snow. 6, The Real West. 5, Rip in Time. 4, Catch Me If You Claws. 3, Guiding Emily. 2, Just One Kiss. And 1, Savoring Paris.
Nice, nice. Okay, Steph, what's your list?
10, The Holiday Sitter. 9, To All a Good Night. 8, Love on the Air. 7, Just One Kiss. 6, My Dreams of You. That's the second draft that it's been in my top 10 that it didn't get played. And then and Erinbeth had the same thing that one time. 5, Catch Me If You Claws. 4, Sweeter Than Chocolate. 3, Savoring Paris. 2, Rip in Time. 1, Adventures in Love and Birding.
Okay, Erinbeth, don't keep us in suspense. Tell us what happened.
Right. Well, I will tell you, all 3 drafters got 7 titles on their drafting list. So it really came down to placement. Stephanie came in 3rd with 10 points. Look at that surprise on your face.
Oh, yeah.
And then Erin and Jackie tied with 11 points each. We went so long without any ties, and now it seems like people
Everyone
are
is
tying up the
tying.
wazoo. So Erin and Jackie tie with 11 points each.
Wow,
So
Jackie and Erin, first of all, congratulations. That means you're both eligible for the 2026 HMD TOC Tournament of Champions. That'll kick off in 2027. It's always a year behind. So congratulations, you guys. Let's talk about one of the movies on your list that didn't get played, that didn't get airtime, or maybe a movie that's not on your list at all that you just want to give a shout out to. So Jackie, let's start with you again.
Well, I'm glad you gave the shout out to Mail Order Bride, not on my list, but was an unexpected pleasure.
Yeah, there's a bed scene, people. Come
yes.
on.
I mean, unbelievable.
That was surprising. Yes.
Yes. We watched that for the Cedar Cove draft. That was my 1st time watching it. But the one I put on my list, which in a million years, I never thought I would have on my list, it was A Country Wedding. I am so tired of seeing that movie. I love the movie a long time ago. Now it's like overplay. But I watched it with fresh eyes. And that bar scene where they are dancing and they're realizing they still have feelings for each other and they kiss and you know it's wrong. And she's realizing, wait a minute, he's taken. It was a very hot scene. So that was the one I want to call out.
Erin, what movie do you want to shout out?
I think Villa Amore is the only one that's on my list that hasn't been talked about. I think Stephanie has a couple that I love that she'll talk about, hopefully. But Villa Amore was very surprising to me because I felt overall last year was a kind of down year across the board for Hallmark movies. I was fairly disappointed that we went to like pushing the envelope and so much diversity. And then all of a sudden we have very safe, formulaic movies. It was very disappointing. But this one, even though it kind of fell in that box, I love Eloise Mumford, and she and Kevin McGarry had fire chemistry. I think he was sculpted from clay. He is like a specimen of a human being. If I hadn't seen him in person, I wouldn't believe he was real. But I got to see he and Kayla Wallace walking their dog, doing very normal things in Waco, of all places, in Waco, Texas. We were all at the same place at the same time, and at Magnolia at the Silos in Waco, having lunch. And I just look up and I see them, and they're as beautiful in real life as they are on screen. I'm hit or miss when it comes to his movies as well. But this one, I thought they had amazing chemistry. He kicks the gate open at one point, carries her, is there to catch her off a ladder. It was very swoony. They had several kisses. So it was definitely like, I think that and Adventures in Birding were two of my favorites for the year in a sea of okay movies.
I'm so glad you chose that one to shout out because everybody should be seeing that one for all the reasons that you stated. And Stephanie, you can close it out with a thought.
Yeah, I agree. Villa More was one of the best from last year too. The last time I wanted to play My Dreams of You, it was my number one in the 2024 non-holiday movie draft. Same with Erinbeth. And it didn't get played. And so for the second time, I'm excited to talk about it as a movie that was on my list that we didn't play. My Dreams of You, it was just such a unique concept for Hallmark. The whole dream center concept and dreams getting mixed up, and then they meet, and then do they know each other, and them getting to know each other, then like all that's kind of erased, but then they still end up together. And it's just so romantic and fun. And they have that kiss in the rain. And then when they kind of break as they kiss, the rain stops. I mean, I love a kiss in the rain, just like in Rip in Time. I just love this movie. It's so great.
What number was it on your list?
Number 6.
Okay. You had the seventh pick, which was Just One Kiss. Was Just One Kiss your number 7? Is that why you didn't play? Okay. All right. So you were getting the points rather than, okay, got it.
Yeah, it was really going to depend on what my drafting order was. Because I actually came in thinking, no matter what, I'm going to play My Dreams of You. But then when number 8 and 9 were played and they weren't even in close to my top 10, I was like, I got to stick with my list to try to get some points.
Look how that worked out for you. You should have just played it.
I should have just played it. It didn't do anything for me.
You guys, this was so much fun. This was such a blast. Before I read the list for the final time, still to come in February, we've got round 2 semifinals and the final championship round of the 2025 HMD TOC. Who's going to be crowned?
Oh my gosh. Oh, sorry, Lynn, I was going to tell you, I had the funniest dream the other night where we were in an arena, not even like a little tiny studio or something. We were in an arena taping the Tournament of Champions for Hallmark movie drafts. I wasn't in it, so I'm assuming if it's prophetic, I did not make it into the finals. But I was sitting like in the front row watching everybody else record. It was the weirdest thing, but in the dream, it felt very normal. So maybe, HMD Tournament of Champions coming 2032
to the Sphere in
arena.
Vegas. Like, what? I don't even want to do it as a live on the YouTube channel, so that's not going to happen. Just don't put that out.
I had forgotten about that, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, but it was so funny.
My God.
It was really, really funny. So
where was I?
Telling everybody to watch the Tournament of
Champions. Oh yeah, the tournament.
Or listen to.
Yeah. Well, no. So last year's players who aren't in the tournament, whoever the final three are, will be there. Everybody else who, showed up and played or was a guest co-host can join the recording live because they're going to be the HMD jury. And that invitation goes to who's ever been on a panel for early 2026. So Erin, if you were available, you could join the feed live and you could cast a vote for who you thought had the best list at the end. So we've got the semifinals, we've got the championship round in February. In March, we've got the cousins draft. That's Tyler Hynes versus his cousin-in-law, Andrew Walker, the one with the big mouth, evidently, according to some players here. Who knows? Never going to live that one down. And I cannot protect you from Mrs. Walker, Emily Petraglia. So that's on you. I didn't say
Emily, it was said with true love and positivity because that is a kissing mouth.
The panelists are going to draft the ultimate top 10 list of the movies from their collective Hallmark filmography. I think it's more than 50 movies. It's like 55 or 56, something like that. So is it going to be all 10 Andrew movies, all 10 Tyler movies, a mix of each? Who knows? So once more, for the final time, here is the singular definitive list of the top 10 Hallmark Best Kiss movies as drafted by Stephanie, Jackie, and Erin. Here we go. At 10, The Holiday Sitter. At 9, Lights, Camera, Kisses. At 8, A Bride for Christmas. At 7, Just One Kiss. At 6, Guiding Emily. At 5, Rip in Time. At 4, Sweeter Than Chocolate. At 3, Adventures in Love and Birding. At 2, Catch Me If You Claus. And at number 1, Savoring Paris. Great job, you guys. Let's all say bye. Bye.
Bye. Walker.
Andrew Walker. No guppy kisses mouth. Not going to happen. Hallmark Movie Drafts is a monthly production. Like the show? Leave us a review. Spread the word. Help Hallmark movie fans find us. Follow the show at Hallmark Movie Drafts on Instagram and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Stephanie Preschel creates the movie synopses using descriptions from IMDb or Hallmark.com as a base. Kate Baca, she creates and vets the list of eligible movies and manages our Letterboxd account called Hallmark Drafts, where you'll find the movies for each show, as well as the final top 10 lists and the panelists who drafted them, so you know who to blame. Erinbeth and Jackie Finestone help with special projects. Erinbeth Cermak, she creates the trivia round questions, and along with Stephanie, Kate, Erin, and Jackie, provides additional creative, research, and hosting support. Me? I'm Lynn Austin. I'm the showrunner, producer, and host. I staff the panels, manage the show topics, the production schedule, and the HMD socials, and edit and publish the podcast. Special thanks to the Deck the Hallmark podcast double-deckers who share their passionate opinions on these Hallmark movies that we love, or maybe not love, so much. See you next month.